Thank you very much, Christine, and thank you everyone for that very warm welcome, but more importantly for all of the work that you do every day to ensure that we do win the fight against climate change in practical, real ways in our cities around the world. Mr. Chief Secretary, Mayor Bloomberg, my colleague mayors from around the world, Your Royal Highness, civic officials, chairing the C40 has been a great privilege for me, and I'm very proud to have had the opportunity to work with exceptionally talented mayors who share a commitment to acting to reduce the threat of climate change. And I do want to acknowledge and thank the former Mayor of London, Ken Livingstone, for establishing this amazing network of leading cities. Mayor Livingstone understood the importance of bringing together a group of leaders from large cities to act. Ken's vision was focused on large cities that have legal powers in areas such as transportation, building codes and standards, waste, electricity production, broad civic engagement, and partnerships with business and financial institutions. These powers allow mayors, their elected associates, and their civil servants to make real changes that can lead to dramatic reductions in greenhouse gas emissions. In addition to the core 40 cities, the C40 has a list of 19 and growing affiliate cities. Generally, these affiliates are smaller cities, but often those with strong statutory powers who exemplify leading approaches to reducing carbon and adapting to the climate change that has almost certainly already begun. I'd like to thank all of the C40 cities that have worked so hard to put on C40 workshops during my time as chair. The workshops have been well attended, and they've been an invaluable opportunity for senior staff in our cities to share hands-on experience and knowledge with each other. Participants in these workshops have learned much, and I think most importantly, have built relationships that allow for continued learning and cooperation across the C40. I also particularly want to acknowledge Seoul. The C40 summit during my tenure as chair was in Seoul, and Mayor Oh and his team should be thanked for delivering an outstanding summit in May of 2009, and I know that my colleagues who were there share that opinion. And we all look forward to Sao Paulo in 2011. There is an invitation in the front for everyone, and I encourage everyone to attend that extremely important event. I'd also like to give special mention to the City of Copenhagen for their leadership on the Copenhagen World Climate Summit for Mayors in December of last year. Mayor, thank you very much for that leadership. I believe the event was an absolute triumph for the C40. Because for the first time, cities had a real presence during UN climate negotiations, and our slogan, Cities Act, was heard and repeated by key negotiators and around the world. In my time as chair, my goals for the C40 included a desire to strengthen our network, solidify our objectives as an organization, and most importantly, deliver results. And I believe that we've done exactly that. Our workshops, the Seoul Summit, and Copenhagen helped us a great deal in this regard. Across the C40 cities, literally millions of square feet in energy retrofits are being undertaken. We're working on electric cars, the carbon disclosure projects, and others. It's also been my desire and the desire of our members to strengthen capacity through the C40 network to deliver on carbon reduction goals. Our carbon finance capacity building program with ECOS and the World Bank has assisted toward that goal as well. Other new initiatives have included expanded sustainability planning capacity through our partnership with Arup, and looking at how to use creativity to integrate culture into the public and ensure the public understands the need to reduce carbon through partnerships with organizations like Cape Farewell. And I'm very grateful for the support and partnership of President Bill Clinton and the Clinton Climate Initiative. And I'd like to acknowledge his team, led by Ira Magaziner, with support from Sarah Greenbaum and the network of CCI city directors. And maybe we can give the CCI and President Clinton a little round of applause. I'd also like to acknowledge and thank Mayor Boris Johnson of London for graciously hosting the Secretariat offices in London City Hall, where our Executive Director, Simon Reddy, and his staff, Felicity and Claire, do tremendous work with small resources. And Simon, to you, Felicity and Claire, thank you very much for the leadership, advice, and support. Simon. And you're never supposed to do this, but I do want to acknowledge my own special advisor on climate initiatives, Mary MacDonald, whose idea it was that I seek this office. So for good or bad, it's Mary's fault. So Mary, thank you very much for your work. And to my colleague mayors, I'd just like to say how profoundly moved I've been of your commitment to real actions to fight climate change, lower emissions, lower costs, and to innovate. And I know the examples of the cities who are here with us and all of the C40 cities and affiliates are examples used around the world of what we can actually do. And while national governments are finding it challenging to reach agreement, cities are acting. And it's because of the leadership of mayors like those in this room and those represented by their deputy mayors. And I want to thank you for the privilege of having the opportunity to learn from you and work with you. In that sense, it's hard for me to step down as chair. But I have to say that I'm thrilled to be handing the chair to Michael Bloomberg of New York City. Like all of you, I've long been impressed with Mayor Bloomberg's genuine and deep commitment to the betterment of his city and to intelligent, smart, and insightful responses to the climate change challenge. Plan YC, for example, showed us all how to detail the how of creating a low-carbon urban center, ranging from mechanisms to support extensive building retrofits, to working with vulnerable neighborhoods on site-specific strategies, to new parks and trees, and of course, extensive efforts to ensure New York City is more welcoming to pedestrians and bicycles. Mayor Bloomberg has many talents, but his understanding of the private sector and how the cities can partner with the private sector in their climate change efforts is unique, and I believe will be a tremendous asset to the C40 network. For example, when I was recently in New York, I was introduced to New York Polytechnic University Accelerator for a Clean and Renewable Economy, supported by Mayor Bloomberg, a remarkable place where small companies were starting to create jobs and create green products, ensuring that the market will help us fight climate change. And it's exactly the kind of leadership I think we need on the C40 network. I want to thank Mayor Bloomberg for standing for the chair. He has personally been a champion of all of the issues that we stand together to fight, and it's my very great honor to introduce to you, for his keynote address, Mayor Michael Bloomberg, Chair of the C40 Group of Cities.